go with them.
And you get back to the surface, and the first breath you take on the air, it's almost like being reborn, I guess.
There's nothing that even compares to a three-point hydroplane. The water in the air, the noise that's made, and the overall speed of something this large. It's some kind of fast.
That's what burns at the core of the people you're about to meet. This is the Jeep world of adventure sports.
How's it going, everyone? Pat Parnell, your guide for the Jeep world of adventure sports. Behind me, the Detroit skyline as we prepare for the prestigious APBA Gold Cup race, a water competition where 30-foot unlimited hydroplanes will race at speeds of up to 200 miles an hour for the oldest active motorsport trophy in the world. Also on today's show, we will travel to the south and west coast of Australia for some surfing with our good friends at TGR, as well as an adventure in the Cayman Islands, where the Performance Freediving team, along with Martin Stepanek and others, will explore the world of freediving while executing world record attempts. But first, let's meet Corey Bowen, Ryan Nyquist, along with other top BMXers at the Red Bull Elevation event in Whistler, BC. Most contests are like pretty set. Still to come, the APBA Gold Cup race here on the chop of the Detroit River. But first, we head all the way to Australia with the crew at TGR, along with Clint Kimmins, Tony Ray, and other top surfers as they embark on a journey and discover unexplored quality Aussie surf. Downtown Detroit. The backdrop for the Chrysler Jeep Superstore's APBA Gold Cup. A race that has been in existence since 1904. Here's a look from the 1946 Gold Cup race on the Detroit River. It was the first to be captured on film and televised by the American Broadcasting Company. Musician Guy Lombardo was among the 17 drivers that started the 90-mile race. A crowd of thousands watched as the boats traveled nearly 100 miles per hour. In the end, it would be the band leader, Guy Lombardo, that would capture the Gold Cup, driving his Tempo 4. Many names have been added to the oldest trophy in motorsports, and residents of the Detroit area flocked to the venue that was named the permanent home of the Gold Cup in 1990. Today, fans pack the grandstands to catch a glimpse of boats that can cover a football field in less than a second. Drivers tape airplane engines that generate nearly 3,000 horsepower, enabling the hydroplanes to travel more than 200 miles per hour. The normally quiet Detroit Marina is alive. Fans enjoy an up-close look with access to the pits as cranes lift the boats to and from the Detroit River. Vintage and historic race boats take non-competitive runs throughout the day.
With this particular sport, it's not roll the car out of the trailer, put it on a piece of asphalt and go. You got cranes involved, a lot of bodies involved, Coast Guard's involved to shut down waterways. Some of the teams get 1 or 2 test sessions a year at best. Most of us, we come to the first race as prepared as we can be and then start going to work.
A handful of volunteers make up Team Miss Chrysler Jeep, and they are responsible for maintaining the fastest piston-powered boat in the world, the only one in today's Gold Cup race.
The engine we run is what the sport was built on starting back from the 20s and 30s. We're running an Allison aircraft engine, still a reciprocating piston engine, where the rest of the guys have gone to a newer technology, supposedly more durable, a turbine application.
While the turbine engine is probably the future of the sport, it just doesn't offer the sound or the mystique that the old World War II Allison aircraft engine does.
There's nothing that even compares to a three-point hydroplane. It's just the water in the air, the noise that's made, and the overall speed of something this large. It's some kind of fast.
order to make it to the Gold Cup final, the teams must go through 2 levels of qualifying. The first is to prove their boat can run a 2.5-mile lap over 130 miles an hour. Next, the teams run through 8 qualifying heats, 4 laps around the 2.5-mile oval. Teams accumulate points based on their finish in those preliminary heats. Half of Team Formula, formerly the Budweiser Racing Team, was able to make the Gold Cup final. The U7 Formula boat, driven by Mike Allen, advanced while his teammate Mike Webber of the U5 boat had nothing but bad luck throughout qualifying. U3, the Miss Chrysler Jeep driven by Jimmy King, advanced through qualifying. The team is looking to rebound coming off a disappointing season last year. After a false start and being penalized for hitting buoys, the U37 Beacon Plumbing vessel, driven by Canadian Jean Thierret, found himself in the final, only after winning the final qualifying heat of the day. U6, the Oboy Oberto, driven by Steve David, cruised through qualifying, winning both of their heats on Sunday. Consider this team the Green Bay Packers of the boat racing world. The team is owned by the people of the city of Madison, Indiana.
Great. We've won both the heats today, and we're in really good shape to try to win this final. Right now, we're the top boat in points.
On Saturday, we came in top qualifier. When the heat started, we came out with a very routine draw for us, and we ended up grenading the motor in the first lap, which took us out of it, and that kind of set the tone for the weekend. We come back the second heat and ended up winning that one, so that put us back in the game. After we knew we were comfortably into the final, after the 4th set of heats running the second, it was time to get ready for the final, so we dropped the big dog.
When we come back, we'll see how King and his big dog of an engine fare in the race for the APBA Gold Cup after these messages. Welcome back, everyone. We now join Steve Montgomery for the call of the APBA Gold Cup race here in Detroit.
Backstretch, the race has not started yet. They will come by the Detroit Yacht Club, swing around through the Rooster Tail turn, make the run down to the start line, and try to get there just as the clock ticks down to 0. Jean Thierret in the U37, Miss Beacon Plumbing, the yellow boat, out of Seattle, Washington. Thierret, a French-Canadian, driving for Billy Shoemaker, has secured lane 1. Next to him, the red boat of former Miss Budweiser. That is Mike Allen from New Orleans, driving for FormulaBoats.com. And the red boat with no cowling over the piston engine, the only boat here with piston power competing with the turbines. That is Jimmy King from nearby Memphis, Michigan, driving Miss Chrysler Jeep, the U3. You saw Stephen David go by in the red, white, and green Oboy Oberto running on the outside. And here is our leader as they come out of the first turn. It is Thierret. Giving chase is Mike Allen in the FormulaBoats.com. Jimmy King and Miss Chrysler Jeep is between the Rooster Tails. You'll see him in a moment. Here is Thierret now coming by the Yacht Club. He has the U37 Beacon Plumbing out ahead in lap 1, but here comes Allen. The cowling. The cowling came off of the U37 Beacon Plumbing. Jean Thierret has lost part of his race boat. The cowling, the cover over the engine came off, went right through the wing, and now Mike Allen has a big advantage in the FormulaBoats.com. Thierret is driving a boat which is aerodynamically unsound at this point. Here is what happened as it came by the Yacht Club at about 210 miles per hour. You see the cover over the engine, the cowling lift off. It went right through the rear wing, which is a control surface. The crew uses the attitude of that wing to help control the boat. This is Nate Brown from Preston, Washington. The white boat is the backup Miss Elam Plus, and now our leader, Jean Thierret, is on the backstretch once again. He has not slowed down. That boat should be out of attitude. Jimmy King giving chase, and Miss Chrysler Jeep as Thierret comes through the Rooster Tail turn one more time. This is a remarkable drive of a boat which should be having some handling problems. You saw Mike Allen at FormulaBoats.com in second place. Third is Jimmy King and Miss Chrysler Jeep. The red boat, which normally does not have a cowling over the engine, it has piston power. The only boat in the fleet that is not a turban. That's Jimmy right there. And now we have word that Mike Allen, running in second place, has been penalized for encroaching on King. Here is the view from inside Jimmy's cockpit on Miss Chrysler Jeep as he approaches that big blue Belle Isle Bridge turn at about 180 miles per hour. Nate Brown driving the backup. Miss Elam Plus is the white boat. And once again, we have a penalty on Mike Allen, the second place boat, which puts him at the back of the field and moves Jimmy King and Miss Chrysler Jeep up into second place officially. So the boats are not standing exactly as they look on the water. This is just a remarkable drive by the French-Canadian, who was the 2005 Rookie of the Year in unlimited hydroplane racing. He is driving a boat which should be giving him some handling problems, doing an incredible job. As we go back on board with Jimmy King and Miss Chrysler Jeep, you see him battling the Detroit River and the Rooster Tails in front of him as well. He may or may not know at this point that he's actually running in second place, and the only guy he has to catch is Theoret. This is Steve David out of Lighthouse Point, Florida, driving the red, white, and green. Old boy Oberto, he is fourth on the water, third officially. Theoret coming by the yacht club one more time, and he continues to take that boat above 200 miles per hour, even without the wing. Dr. Ken Muscatel from Seattle in his boat, running in fifth place, the U2.25, sponsored by Michigan Mortgage. And look at Theoret handle what should be a crippled race boat. The U-37 Beacon Plumbing continues to respond for him. You see Jimmy King narrowly missing the exit pin there in the U3 Chrysler Jeep as he tried to cut inside the rooster tail of Mike Allen. This is Theoret's crew, and they are as amazed as we are by what they're seeing here. Nate Brown comes by, and Miss Elam Plus. There is your leader on the backstretch for the final time. Jean Theoret is going to lap Dr. Ken Muscatel, turn it around the rooster tail turn, and if he can hold it together another few hundred yards, he's going to win the 2006 Chrysler Jeep APBA Gold Cup here in Detroit. A remarkable drive, one of the most remarkable we have seen. The crowd saluting their champion as Jimmy King will bring the U3 Miss Chrysler Jeep across the line in second place. He actually passed Mike Allen, who had been running second on the water. Jean Theoret now back in the pit area, meeting a very jubilant crew headed up by new owner Billy Shoemaker, a racing legend, a former Gold Cup champion himself, and the new owner of this boat based in Seattle. The Cooper family from Evansville, Indiana, owners of the U3 Miss Chrysler Jeep, getting aboard with their driver Jimmy King, who did an outstanding job of bringing the piston-powered Hydro home in second place here in the 2006 Gold Cup. There is damage to the back end of the FormulaBoats.com Mike Allen's boat. Something has hit his boat. We have a picture of it happening here. That is Nate Brown in Miss Elam Plus, and Mike Allen is going to run into him as they are trying to get back into the pit area. So that is where that damage took place. Allen nearly out of control as he tried to avoid Nate Brown.
We thank Steve Montgomery. A very exciting call for a great race, and there's Jimmy King piloting the Miss Chrysler Jeep to a second place finish. And congrats goes to the first Canadian ever to win the Gold Cup, Jean Theoret.
I think that any boat racing, it's what all boat racers dream of. And this dream has come true. The miracle has come true, because let me tell you, this morning we're looking really bad. We were not even in the final. And I got my team together in the truck and I said, I believe in miracles. And a miracle could happen.
We'll be back to wrap things up here from Detroit when the Jeep World of Adventure Sports continues.
Can't be said of the